right, everybody, welcome back to the Move podcast. Today brought to you by Zwift. Man, we've been having a hell of a good time there. Sorry for not being there this week on spring break with the family, as you can see in the back here on the island of Kauai. So just crushing it on We Do Wednesdays, Suffer Sundays. I think we're up to over 10,000 participants so far. Get the gear, download the Zwift Companion app, join the rides every Wednesday morning, every Sunday morning if you want to get your Suffer on. Today I'm joined by a former winner of Gent Wevelgem, George Hincapie, 2001.
Thanks for having me back, guys. I felt kind of like cheated on last weekend. Like I couldn't make the show. I was going to be 2 hours late. You're like, you're gone. See you in the douches. We don't need to hear from you. Even though I've done Milan San Remo 17 times, I guess nobody really cared what I had to say. But I appreciate being back.
And we're also joined by Johan Bruneel, who never won Gent Wevelgem, and JB Hager, who never even started Gent Wevelgem.
Just had to look it up on a map.
I know.
Johan, have you started Gent Wevelgem, Johan?
Yeah.
I did it too. I think I did it once. I was like, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm done. I don't need to do that again.
Same here. First year professional. Yeah. I did it and say, okay, adios.
One and done. Hey, today's show also brought to you by Athletic Greens. This is something I've incorporated into my daily routine. I tell you, it is a game changer. Better gut health, more energy. And if you're like me, you don't eat your veggies, don't eat enough veggies. This is it. 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole foods, source superfoods, probiotics, adaptogens. Start your day off right. And guess what? Less than $3 a day. Athletic Greens is going to give you a free year supply of immune supporting vitamin D, 5 free travel packs. All you have to do is go to athleticgreens.com/themove. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/themove. Take ownership over your health. So, Johan, you must be feeling pretty good about yourself this morning.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean,
the guy has a crystal ball. We said it in the Up and Comer show, and folks, if you didn't catch it, go back and watch it. I mean, the man knows the game.
Well, Binyam Girmay. I mean, you don't need a crystal ball actually to see that it was a matter of time. He was second in the World Championships in Belgium, winning a bunch sprint. There was one guy away. He's been up there already the whole season in those races. I mean, that's what strikes me the most. A guy from Africa, Eritrea. Eritrea is a country where cycling is really, really, really popular. Almost all of the best African cyclists come from Eritrea. But to be up there in a Northern Classic wind today, there was not so much wind, but cobbles, little hills. And especially tactically racing, it's incredible.
And he didn't. In full transparency, I'm in Hawaii, so I did not wake up in time to watch the race, although I did get up early. I read that he was, the first few sections, he was way back and just sort of bided his time and was patient and didn't get in trouble. I mean, that's the hard thing about these races. Like you start in the back and you lose morale, you get behind crashes. Splits in the peloton.
Yeah, I mean in the first section, but on the cobble on the Camelberg, he was not with the first 5-6 guys, but he was up there. I mean, let's not forget, this guy comes from, as we said in the Up and Comer show, this is the only cyclist in the juniors category who has beaten Remco Evenepoel in a man-to-man. There's nobody else who has beaten that guy. Remco Evenepoel was the best in the world by far. So for him to, at this young age, he's 21 years old, to do that, it's, he's riding like a really mature guy, and it's very promising for the future.
And let's not forget, this is the classics. And one of the first things I learned when I started riding the classics was never give up. The races are so long, they're so hard. After sections, there's always 5, 10, sometimes 15 groups. So anything's possible. You can always come back and you can never let off the gas. So I don't know how far back he was early on, but clearly he didn't give up and rode an amazing race.
I want to get you guys' thoughts on I'll call it the Wout van Aert effect of this race, because Laporte, Jumbo Visma is in that 4-man breakaway. So Van Aert's not going to work to chase it down. And everybody kind of just marks Van Aert. Do you think that's why the break got away? It's like, no, I'm sticking with Van Aert.
I mean, at that point, Johan, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, they showed they were the strongest, Laporte and Van Aert. Perhaps there was a little bit of a mistake there where Van Aert may have. This is, looking back. Of course, we do the post-race analysis, so it's easy to say. He goes up to Kemmelberg. He's the strongest guy the third time up. He's got Laporte just off of his wheel, and 2 or 3 other guys right there as well. Perhaps that might have been a moment to let off the gas a little bit and have a few guys with him coming down the Kemmelberg. And then that could have made it. But 50 kilometers to go on your own, even for Van Aert, although he has done that already once this year, is a difficult task.
Yeah, I think we're also dealing, George, with, what has been happening from the beginning of the season till now. Jumbo Visma has been very dominant. We don't have to go back further than, 3 days ago in Harelbeke in the E3, where, Van Aert and Laporte went on their own with 43 kilometers to go, and they made it to the finish. And it's a bit of a race now, the whole peloton against Jumbo Visma, which is logical. It's it's very likely that a break is going to go then without the leader, with another guy of Jumbo Visma. And Laporte has shown that he's their second best guy in all these spring races. So I think Jumbo Visma did the right thing. They had no other solution, and it's not like, let's not forget, nowadays with the teams down to 7 riders, maybe 1 or 2 are in a crash. There's not that many riders per team to correct the situation. So already having somebody in the breakaway is, 1 out of 4, and being Christophe Laporte, I think that was, was a pretty safe bet.
Well, and let's not forget, Johan, this was after the climbs. There wasn't really anything left on the road. There's 50K to go. There's about 50 guys left in the bunch, give or take. So at this point, it's more of like, who's most guys? It's not really a selection. It's like, I'm going to take my chance, and the right combination goes. There's not enough guys behind the chase. That's how those breakaways get to work. That's how those breakaways go.
You got to be Mosca.
Got to be Mosca.
These races, you definitely got to be Mosca.
Absolutely.
It's been a minute. I missed the Mosca throwout.
But especially
it's classics time, baby.
Especially in a race like Gent Wevelgem, after it's 40K to go, from the Kemmelberg till the finish, and then unless you have a 3-4 strong group, it comes back together, and then it's a matter of playing your cards. So I mean, those 4 guys, they were strong. You had to be there initially because the peloton got together after these 4 guys were away. So that's already a proof that these guys were gonna be difficult to catch.
Now let's talk about what this is going to be like for Girmay. He's heading home.
I'm curious. I'm curious, Johan, what you know about. To your point, they'd be like, obviously they probably stream that race there on Eurosport or something.
Can you imagine what the arrival is going to be like?
Well, I think he is already very popular. I read before he's been already before this, and I think before the season actually. He's last year, after his second place in the Worlds, he was already received by the president, of the country.
Wow.
Yeah. So imagine now, and imagine what this is going to do for young cyclists in that country
and around there, all the countries around there.
Yeah.
Lance talks about that often. The effect of, you see a hero that's from where you are, looks like you, and it's just this. I feel like we should get like a psychologist to come on and explain what that effect is. There's got to be somebody surely has studied how that happens in sport.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I think if the young guys now finally they see somebody who has made it or is making it, and they can relate to, otherwise they look on TV and they see all these, Wout van Aert and Van der Poel, and they all want to be like them. But now they have one of them who is like these guys, or there with the guys, and now finally winning, a race like Gent Wevelgem. How big the contrast can be, because this is really, even more than I would say Roubaix and Flanders. This is a race where, it's for sprinters, it's tactical, there's wind, there's cobble, there's a bit of everything. And the fact that a rider from their country can win it, this is huge for cycling in Africa. Huge.
Not only win it, but the way he won it. I mean, being in the breaker with Laporte, who's arguably one of the strongest one-day riders in the world right now, Stuyven, who's won Milan-San Remo, I forget the other guy's name, but took confidence, started the sprint with 250 meters to go at the end of Gent Wevelgem, which is very, very difficult task, but really just started from the back and didn't even question or hesitate for a second. Took off, was confident that he can make it to the finish line. And it was clear that Laporte was coming strong, but he made the move right at the perfect time.
Now, I would love to know if, and I guess this is more directed at Johan, when you've got Girmay wins Ghent, right? And it's huge. It's huge for Intermarché. Let's not forget, right? How great is that? Would you try to talk him into staying for Flanders since he's hot?
No, I wouldn't, because he's young. He's won now. It's best to go now and prepare for your next goal. He does the Giro, right? He's going to do the Giro, and his plan is to go back to his country. He's 21, but he has a wife and a daughter. He's been gone for close to 3 months, and now he will go on altitude training for the Giro. He's not racing anymore before the Giro. So, I mean, putting him in Flanders now, it can only go down. I mean, he's very unlikely going to win Flanders, because Flanders is still a level above. That's really, the guy with the most power, and against the guys when it's really man to man against Van Aert and Van der Poel and all these big guys, Asgreen, that's different. That's different, So I think I wouldn't try to talk him into it. At the end of the day, you need a guy who's happy also, and he's already fulfilled. Not just his contract. I think the season of the whole team. If they would have said before, we will win Gent Wevelgem, they would say, okay,
right, signing with both hands.
Yeah,
and I was just looking. He has a contract through 2024, so they've got him. They got him a couple more years.
Yeah, look the way he started his spring series as well, winning in Mallorca, which is one of the probably his first race of the year or second, and then winning his last race of the spring campaign. There's no better way than to go out with that. When they asked him at the post-race interview if he was going to consider staying home there in Belgium for another week for Flanders, he didn't even hesitate. He's like, no, I want to go home, which a lot of our viewers don't understand. And Lance and I dealt with it a bunch too. When you're living in Europe as an American or as an African, you're still, even if you're riding really well, you're having fun, you miss home, you miss your family. So that's a whole nother layer that, the Europeans don't have to deal with so much, because they get to go home on the weekdays after the races.
So we're talking about the front end of the race. We're going to take a little commercial break, but we got to talk about Quick Step and understand if I'm reading these results right. And Johan, you had a little advance notice of this, that Lefebvre it just felt like something was off with that team. I mean, this is like next level off, but
it's definitely, yeah. Okay.
I want to get to that in a second. So, because it's the Wolfpack, they're running around like a bunch of little, cabochons, it's not wolves right now. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anyways, today's show also brought to you by Helix. Now, maybe that's the problem. Maybe Quick Step has just been sleeping too much. Like we've been sleeping, because we sleep in the Helix mattress, which is amazing. I've had mine for, I don't know, almost a year now. They make it real simple, because sleep is unique, right? So you go on to their website, you go to helixsleep.com/themove. You take a 2-minute quiz, talk about your characteristics of your sleep. They fully customize your mattress. And right now they're offering $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows. I feel like that guy on Fox News, the pillow guy, this fucking guy who's always like, my pillows are no, these are Helix pillows. $200 off all mattress orders, 2 free pillows. Head on over to helixsleep.com/themove. And today's show also brought to you by Therabody. Hey, new one. Known these guys for a while. They a little bit of history. Obviously, they bought our old friends at PowerDot. They're building a whole suite of recovery products. Their Recovery Air Jet boots are the world's most advanced pneumatic compression system ever created. Bunch of guys in the peloton, bunch of guys and gals in the peloton using this. They've got the exclusive fast flush technology. Recovery air flushes out the metabolic waste for more fully and brings back your legs totally fresh, which I need right now because George, I can tell, is just a lot fitter than me. All right, sit back, relax, and recover. Go to therabody.com/themove to get your Therabody recovery air. That's therabody.com/themove, starting at just $699. So, Johan, what is wrong with the Wolfpack?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not what we're used to see from them. These races, they usually, their strength is, they have the numbers. They have 3, 4, 5 guys in there. Until now, the races that really matter, and especially E3 and today, the only guy I've seen is Asgreen. Asgreen is very strong.
He was 32nd place today. He was their best finisher. I know it doesn't matter, but it does matter. It's Gent Wevelgem. I promise you, Patrick Lefevre is having a hissy fit right now.
Yeah, well,
this is their home country. It's not the Tour of Flanders, but he may not be pulling the fire alarm, but he's got his hand on it.
And they usually dominate in the spring.
Absolutely,
yeah. They do. I mean, things are off. Patrick told me that they had quite a few guys who were ill, some COVID guys, but also some with that virus that's flying around now. Anyway, other teams have it too. So I don't know if that's really the reason. I've seen Asgreen really, really strong. He's almost equal to Van Aert, maybe just a little bit off, but almost equal. But around that, there's the guys are not there. They did have a few both in E3 and today they had Seneschal, who is also a very strong guy, who two times had a mechanical at a very bad moment. Then Jakobsen was in a crash today. They do have their bad luck, but Jumbo Visma is the new Wolfpack for these races until now. Mm-hmm. And so it's I'm curious to see when it really matters, which is Flanders and Roubaix, which is the really big appointments. I don't know. I don't see how they can turn it around in such a short time compared to how strong Jumbo Visma is going.
And there's no bluff here.
No. I mean,
right.
Listen,
I wouldn't think so. I just wanted to.
Let's not forget also that now that there's Flanders, Amstel Gold, then Roubaix, so they got a bit more time to turn it around for Roubaix. You can't count out. Like you said, Asgreen looked good today. Once they got over the big selection of the day, there was a big group, and it was kind of a more of a Mosca move sort of thing, not of a selection breakaway.
Yeah, but George,
they're trying to come around. I think
they didn't have too many guys in that group to do Mosca moves. It was only Asgreen.
Nobody did. If you saw that, nobody really had more than 2 or 3 guys. Maybe Francais de Joux and I think Francais
Alpecin. Also, they had 3 guys. Yeah,
but they tried to get it going. But those the most any team had was 3 to 4 guys in that move or in that big group there at the end. I think Johan, since we do have Flanders coming up and looking past San Remo and E3 Prize and what we saw today, like which teams do you think? Obviously, Jumbo is dominating right now for the most part, but which other teams are standing out for you in terms of strong teams for next weekend?
Strong teams overall, you have to say, is UAE. They've won 22 races today.
For the classics, I'm talking about for the classics.
Yeah, well, let's not forget Pogacar is racing Flanders.
That's right, and they have Trentin who won a big one too.
Another guy is Mathieu van der Poel is back. He won a stage in Italy. It's not a big race, but apparently the way he won it was incredible. Long breakaway. He was on his own at the end and then caught with 5K to go and then wins the bunch sprint.
Well, since I was silenced for San Remo, and I kind of, was shut out.
Silence.
Third place in your first race of the year after being off your bike for 6 weeks leading up. I mean,
can I just, that's all fine and good. Can I just touch on the silence part? Because this is, it sort of goes like this. We got a lot of.
I'm trying to be canceled by my own team here.
A lot of organizing to go on. Okay. Johan's, we're dealing with the time change. JB's busy. I work full time. Us trying to fit in when we can record shows between George's interval sessions and his long rides and his recovery naps and all this bullshit that he does. We just said we got to go on without him today.
I guess I'm getting taught a lesson. I'm starting to get canceled by my whole team here.
Oh, you better be there for Flanders.
I know.
Yeah.
In Flanders.
Yeah, I know. But what we want is that you're on the screen here. We don't care where you are. We want you on the screen.
Have you seen
he's going to Flanders.
Have you seen the viral TikTok guy, George, where he's like, you got to show up if you want to get it done. Have you seen that guy?
I have not, but I'll check it out.
I'll send that to you guys.
Yep. Definitely.
All right, you guys. Flanders is going to be interesting. Strong teams. You have Jumbo Visma, of course. Quick Step. I don't see. They're going to be better, but they're not going to be dominating. Lotto is nowhere. They have a classics team. They've shown that they're not in the game. I think Alpecin, as soon as Van der Poel is joining, that team it's going to be a metamorphosis. They're going to change. Is that a right word?
I was just going to say, can we just rewind that? What was what was that word again? Say it one more time.
Metamorphosis.
I think
the guy speaks like 8 languages.
I just made it up. I
believe it's somewhere. It's not far removed from obstacle, but I feel like there's a word in there, an English word in there somewhere.
I'm going to look it up and send it to you, and you'll see metamorphosis will be a word. But anyway, the team will be transformed. Do you understand that, Lance? Transformed? Okay. As soon as Van der Poel is back, this is going to be a different team.
Yeah.
I have to say, a team that actually looks pretty good today. They looked strong. And funny enough, without Peter Sagan being in front, is Total Direct Energy. They have this. They believe in this guy Turgis, who was second in Milan-San Remo. Was up there a few times also, so they did a lot of work. And also, Bahrain. Bahrain is going to be up there. Mohoric is super strong. Unfortunately, they don't have Colbrelli, who we sent our best. He's feeling better.
Crazy story, yeah.
Any updates on that condition or what was?
Yeah, I mean, as we know, he had this problem in the first stage of Tour of Catalonia. He's out of the hospital.
I had a problem. He had a heart attack.
He had a heart. Yeah,
they did CPR on the roadside, did they not?
Yeah, he had a heart attack. Yeah. So he was in the hospital.
Can we just pause there? I mean, think about that. I mean, that is. So many ways that could have gone really wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're him. Like next time you have to just, we all get that point in the race. You're like, okay, this is about as hard as I can go. Right. And everything is every warning light is on. Imagine the next time he has to go into that red line.
I agree. One thing is, you hear
really
people,
mentally it'd be very, very hard.
You hear of people who have, arrhythmias and stuff like that. It's not, this is completely different. This is okay. You're dead unless there's a machine on you that brings you back alive, right? Sure. So I think that's going to be a huge one for him. Luckily, he's alive. That's already a big victory. But we have to ask ourselves, the things we see. Maybe there's certain theories that are consequences of COVID or the virus or whatever, the vaccine. I don't know. The thing is, we hear about this because it's a cyclist, but there's many people many people who have heart problems, who are not elite athletes, and it's not in the news.
Yep.
But yeah, anyway, so Bahrain, Mohoric is on great form. Definitely going to be a factor.
9th place today.
Yeah. And Trek Segafredo, they have Stuyven and they have Mats Pedersen. Mats Pedersen is also good. So they have a pretty strong team too for the race. But nobody is as dominant as Jumbo-Visma, which, in some cases also may be a disadvantage for them because it's the whole peloton against them.
Do you think UAE goes in and rides as if Pogacar can win the race?
I don't think so.
Why would they? Yeah, I mean,
it's the first time he's never.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with that.
I think so.
I think they get a pass.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to make predictions? Do you want to?
I think we should.
Yeah, I think we should.
I mean, usually when we race, we had Flanders, Wevelgem on the Wednesday, Roubaix on Sunday. So now it's a completely different ball game where you have Wevelgem, it's its own race on a Sunday. They have a whole week off. That's why I still, giving hope there for the Quick Step boys. I feel like they can come together in their biggest race of the year. Is Alaphilippe back and healthy? Is he going to do the ride? Do we know?
He's not doing Flanders. He's putting everything on Flèche and Liège. He wants to win Liège. Yeah. Yeah.
But
okay. So who goes first?
I'll go first
George goes first.
Since I'm back, and you guys, I know you missed me. I'm back. I'm excited to be here.
For now.
I'm going to go with Van der Poel. What he's showing right now, two races has already got a 3rd place in a World Cup, and then won a stage at Copa Bartoli. He's on his way up. Van Aert, I mean, he's obviously dominant right now, but he's been good for so long. And of course, these guys keep replaying the playbook, so to speak. But how long can you hold that form for? We shall see.
Johan, who do you have?
Yeah, I was going to pick Van der Poel too, but so I have to pick somebody else.
That's why I went first.
I mean, I'm going to pick Van Aert.
Okay. Can I go next?
That leaves Pogacar for you, Lance.
No. I'm picking my favorite skyrocker. I think
he's looking good.
Good one.
He's looking good. I'm going with Søren Kragh Andersen.
Good one.
And to our earlier point, JB, let's not forget who the Danes. The Danes are really competitive, right? And I always saw these Danes they'd race each other in the race.
Mm-hmm.
So as one, I think with Asgreen and that's my pick. This guy's sneaky strong.
And Lance, I like that pick because his team isn't going to be expected to do anything at all. So he could lay low the whole race, and his team can be 100% behind him. Keep him up there. I really like that pick.
And also,
he's got a lot of experience. He knows the course. He's got the miles. I like that pick too.
I would have. Man, I should have picked him. No, he was. I
stole Johan's crystal ball.
No, you didn't. He was the strongest guy on the Poggio at the end, and he was very strong today.
He almost made that bridge at the end.
At the moment, he needed to be there. So yeah, good pick. Yeah, JB. What about you?
I'm going to go with Mads
College.
Pedersen.
Is college?
I'm going with Mads Pedersen.
Good pick too.
Okay, thank you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is he that or Casper Asgreen? But you guys talked me off the Quick Steps momentum right now.
Yeah.
Johan, I'm interested in you.
Although he will be up there. Has to be.
We got a week between today and Flanders. Are these guys going home, or they're all staying in Belgium at the hotel and doing a lot of the recon? There's no midweek race like there was in the past. What do you think most of the guys are doing?
They're going to go home, I think.
Going to go home.
Yeah, I mean, some of them.
I'm just wondering now with all this COVID and virus stuff, are they?
Oh, you mean now? You mean now? This week before Flanders?
This week before Flanders. Back in the day, we would go home. Recon. If it was a race on Sunday, we'd go home, come back Thursday probably. But I'm just wondering, you think they're all staying this week?
I think the main guys will stay. I think, yeah.
I feel like,
or at least be there from Wednesday evening to have Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Well, no, that my question is this: like, now that everybody's so freaked out about getting sick and all these viruses going on, do they let them risk themselves and get on there and go through an airport and be on an airplane with all these people before the biggest race of the year? I don't think so. I would think they'd make them stay in a controlled environment and not let them go home.
Is this the race? Is Flanders where you're going to be, George, or is that Roubaix you're going to?
I'll be at Flanders.
You're going to be at Flanders.
Yeah.
Are you going to give the Move audience, a cameo that we can?
Yeah, I'll give him a cameo.
From the side of the road.
I got to do whatever it takes not to be canceled by the team. So.
You have to make up. You have to make up.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Just try to squeeze this in between your 40-20s and your recovery naps and.
Will do.
This has been fun. All right, kids, signing off. Oh boy. Speaking of cameos.
Look at that.
Shadow.
Who won the race?
I mean, how would a vacation not be complete without this guy? Huh?
Name with my shirt on it, baby. A shirt with my name on it.
We got another cameo. Look at this guy. It's spring break.
The hockey player.
That's right.
You showing that you're in my bedroom?
Yeah, no. Yeah, here's Shadow. Look at Shadow's bed. It's in the living room. I said, hey, you want to come to Hawaii for spring break? He's like, well, I have my own room. And I said, I was non-committal. I was like, I'm working on that. It didn't work out for now.
I was making coffee this morning at 4:58.
Yeah, I got up at just before 5, and they had this Euro style. I was like,
are you guys at least going to wear shoes when you play golf this year?
no, are we wearing shoes when we play golf? I don't think so. No. All right, this is fun. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you all in a week.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
George, send us the tail number so we can track your private flight on the way to Flanders.
Have a great week, y'all. I'll see y'all.